Shalom. Welcome to Psychology of the Parsha for Parshat Beshalach. In this week's Parsha, the children of Israel experienced the tremendous miracle of the splitting of the sea. And following this great miracle of seeing how what Hashem did for them and how He defeated their enemies, they sang a song together in unison. This song is repeated each and every day in the life of a Jew. Whether a weekday, whether Shabbat, whether Yom Kippur, we say the Az Yashir Moshe. We repeat the entirety of the song. This is a song which doesn't only sing the praises of the miracle for the past, but they also speak about the miracle of the future. That is, the lessons, the fundamentals of how we, Am Yisrael, we the Jewish people, are to remain in existence, are to continue to strive as God's people. There's a beautiful interpretation of one of the many, many expressions of gratitude that the Jewish people used. Let's focus in on chapter 15, verse 2. They say, Aziv zimrat ka vayehi li lishua. That Hashem is my strength and my might, and He came to my salvation. He became my deliverance. Ze keli va'anvehu. This is my God, ve'anvehu. Rashi tells us, va'anvehu can come from the word neve shana. That means I will build him a shrine, I will build him a temple, a dwelling place, which in fact did happen. The Jewish people were soon to receive the Torah, and following that they built a special abode for Hashem's presence. But also the word va'anvehu comes from the word naveh, which means beauty. Thus, ze keli va'anvehu. This is my God, and I will beautify Him. Elokei avi, and He is the God of my fathers. Va'arom imenu, and I will exalt Him. I will lift Him up high. Romemut means to lift something on high. It's interesting that when they say Ze Keli, and you see me pointing with my finger, the expression of Chazal, of our sages in the Talmud, is that whenever the word Ze, this, is used, that connotates that the thing is in actual presence, almost tangible. And it makes sense. Think about it. You cannot use the word ze, you cannot use the term this when it's something that's not there, present. Mar'eh be'etzba'o ve'omer ze. The expression in Chazal is one points with one's finger and says this. Thus Rashi tells us that when the Jews exclaimed and they said, Ze keli v'anvehu, this is our God, and I will beautify Him, that means that they actually saw God. God was present. Not only did they see the effects of God, the miracles, and the defeat and the death of their adversaries, but they also saw godliness. Literally, the heavens opened up, and they saw, in fact, what some of the later prophets didn't merit to see. In fact, the sages tell us that even a maidservant present at the splitting of the sea saw greater revelations of godliness. A great scholar, a great Rabbi, once exclaimed that this verse is the secret to Jewish continuity, the secret to our existence. As I said, it's not only speaking about the past of what happened, but it's speaking about the miracle of the future, what will happen, what shall happen, what we should do to make it happen. Thus he said, Ze keli. If one says about godliness, about God, Ze, this is my God, God's close to him, then He will beautify him. Of course, each in their own way. Will he wear a beard this long, a beard that long, or maybe not have a beard, but wear this kippah, that color kippah, a big kippah, a small kippah? That depends on the person and their relationship, their connection, and their feeling about their expression of their connection to Hashem. But as long as it's Zekeli, as long as God is present and relevant in your life and prevalent in your life, you're going to beautify Him. You're going to do this mitzvah, you're going to do that mitzvah. You're going to be in the course of doing mitzvot. However, if it's Elokei Avi, if it's only the God of my fathers, Va'arom Mimenu, and I will lift Him up, I will exalt Him, He remains very distant and sadly will not remain and not be a constant reality, a constant active being in my life. And sadly, I can tell you personally, I see this almost every day. I hardly meet a Jew that is disgusted by his or her past. In fact, so many people that know so little about their own Jewish heritage, about the beauty of Judaism, are so quick to proudly let me know, Rabbi, my great-grandfather was a rabbi, my grandfather was a rabbi in the city before the war, this and so on and so forth. I get this all the time. Or a relative, or this, somebody who's very religious, somebody's this, or even to themselves, and rightfully so, boast about some past connection that they had to Judaism, that they studied, or they knew, or they once did this mitzvah or that. But the problem is when Judaism is only the religion, the way of your fathers, of your ancestors, it remains somewhat in the distance, in the past, then God forbid, God starts to lift up. Not because He wants to, but because the person is not doing anything active to keep God down here, anchored into our day-to-day life. And this is a very important lesson. Of course He is the God of our ancestors, but He has to be present. It has to be Zekeli. If it's Zekeli, then I not only will do my effort, but I am guaranteed, because this word can also be read not only as a wish, not only as a call to action, but also as a promise. Ve'an ve'yu, and I will beautify Him. If a Jew looks at God as a present reality in their life, they are bound, and they certainly will, to be more and more involved in Judaism. Shalom.